Hello, lab rats, and welcome to get more Starsector. Why the fuck? Okay, now it's showing up. It wasn't for a second. Also, just noticed for the past couple of streams since Dead Space totally fucked with the size of my game capture. The size of my game capture has been like very slightly off. Let me see if I can fix that. Whatever. I'll figure it out at some other point. Anyways, hi. Last time we finished the Usurpers and got our hands on this very stupid, gigantic battleship. And we also recovered the scientist for Glacier Academy. And so the adventures of the Flying Lobster continues. Thank you, Thorir. Also, hi Thorir. Hi, Rowan. Yeah. Yeah, you get a guaranteed free one if at the end of the Usurpers you ask for an experimental ship hull as a reward. But anyways, I was going to do... So, next step, our first next step, is to go talk to Ray and Aurorio and Hyperzeal. I should really look up how to actually pronounce that word. Like, it's Irish. And I never know how to pronounce Irish words. I do better than most people, but... Hyperzeal here. Does I visit Volturnia? No. I should. Right. Oh, now let's see artillery station. Oh, but we can land through there. Okay. But we're being tracked for some reason. Allow the scan. Yeah, I don't have anything. Okay, let's make sure I actually don't have anything. Oh, I do have some stuff to sell, like these metals. And ship components. Hi Brazil. It is just Hi Brazil? Okay. I keep thinking it must be something different, but apparently it really is just Hi Brazil. Hi, it is like 1 a.m. on my time zone, so I'm here to tell you that your tweets are based and then go to bed. Aw, thank you. Yeah, I was wondering if I was overthinking it or if that's how it's actually pronounced. Will I colonize Hypershunt? Possibly. It's way out of the way, isn't it? I don't remember exactly where it was. I know we found one. I don't remember where we found one. I think it was in that last... Right, like if I go here, I think it was... Here? No, that's not what I meant to do. Right, no, that's not the sector map. That's Intel. Yes, it's up here. Okay. So I need to talk to Rain Arroyo. Let me get my... yeah, I know what Hy Brasil is, actually, in Irish mythology. Your comms officer connects your personal terminals to the local network. You activate the audio suppression field around your command station and enter the comms ID provided to you by Provost Baird. The animated logo of some Tritachion sub-department makes a half rotation before the call is answered. Arroyo here. Who's talking to me? Ryan Arroyo looks you over as if examining a starship hull for scratches. He seems to find something he doesn't quite approve of in you. Who gave you my comms ID? Provost Anahita Baird. For just a moment, you think you see a wave of panic cross Arroyo's face. It's replaced by a cocky grin. Oh, of course. The Galatia Academy Endowment Fund. How could I forget? Here, he taps at something and your comms displays an incoming set of coordinates with the code of a landing beacon. Take a shuttle down. We can touch base about the fund. I'm sure the provost has exciting plans and I want to hear all about them. He lifts his eyes upward for a moment and lowers them again to look directly at you. In person. He carries on as if this was all perfectly expected. Ever been planetside? Don't count if it's just the arcologies. I'll give you a tour of my chalet. Spectacular views. You'll love it. See you soon. I love how the Tritachion theme sounds like it's like in the background of like a corporate informational video. Like it's just this generic upbeat music that drives you insane, and it's perfect. Take a shuttle down to Ryan Arroyo's chalet on the surface. Your shuttle descends into the young atmosphere of Eocubres. Eocubre? How do you pronounce that? I just realized I don't know how you pronounce that. I'm guessing it's more like Eku? Is it Eku? Or Eku? Or whatever. Your shuttle descends into the young atmosphere of the planet through towering battlements of clouds. Yeah, it's infomercial music. A spray of rain is cast over your viewport and is wiped clean in a blink by the heat and speed of your descent. The flight path soon deviates from the general approach corridor, which has been ticking off minor use fees from the Tritachion's own flight control. General volume access fee, priority flight lane fee, service fee, customer satisfaction insurance charge, advertisement bypass fee. You swipe the notifications off and focus on the landscape. Leaving behind the Tritach arcologies, diamonds growing atop the detritus of tiered slums. Over pipelines, a steel blue bay, jagged fjords interrupted by ice jams and landslides. Up and over, a great crumbling escarpment like a black wave that fills the horizon. You cross a landscape of oddly hued tundra spotted with thousands of milky green lakes. A new range of mountains rises on the horizon, torn in half by catastrophic workings of the terraformers, and beyond is a chaos of steep valleys populated by dwarf pine and thin white waterfalls. The nav system sounds a tone indicating immediate or imminent arrival, and you see Arroyo's private chalet, a small compound of radical geometric architecture surrounded by low outbuildings. Your shuttle approaches an ellipsoid landing pad that appears to hang in the thin air over a gorge. Am I winning? Sure! We got some really nice stuff last time. A human and a robotic servant greet you placidly as you arrive and lead you inside to a grand parlor done in dark geometric style. Gold inlay gleams in onyx tabletops, and the polished granite floor is set with tastefully patterned jewel-tone carpets, placed slightly askew. The view from the flawless sweep of Diamond Matrix Bay window is, as Arroyo promised, spectacular. Tritach is so fancy, yeah? Ryan Arroyo is sitting at one of the bars. He acknowledges your entrance with a nod as the servants disappear. He taps his datapad with 2 fingers. You hear the soft signal loss ping from your datapad, and your sidearm hand twitches instinctively. Arroyo acknowledges this with the rise of one perfectly groomed eyebrow. Calm down. Just making sure no one's listening. He flips through a series of null readouts on a datapad and, satisfied, sets it aside. So Baird is calling in another installment. What will that be, Captain Vivi Leandra? No small talk? What about the tour? No, he says. He makes a shove looking around. But it's nice, isn't it? Now, I could be doing anything other than talking to you right now, so let's make it quick. You know you're getting something thanks to our mutual friend. What is it? I need to break into the data vault of the Ministry of Technology Standards. As soon as you say it, a smile grows on Arroyo's face. He starts laughing and takes his time as it builds and falls. He laughs like he's strapped to a madman's rocket with no escape, so why not enjoy the ride? Give him a moment. He slaps the onyx bar top one last time and puts his head in his hands. He sighs and pours something from a crystal decanter into a glass, empties it. To a deal that gets worse all the time. Then pours another. He considers a moment, notices you, and tilts the decanter to offer you a drink. Have a drink. Arroyo pours another, passes you the tumbler, and clinks his glass into yours hard. And Anahita Bears, he shouts. Oh, let me get a glass of water. Anna Valence! Hi! Hi, everybody! Hi, if you've never seen me before, my name is Dr. Vivi. I'm a mad scientist VTuber. I like playing strategy games and RPGs and horror games. But mostly just random sci-fi games that let you, that give me an excuse to ramble about science on stream, because I also happen to be a scientist in real life. Thank you, Anna. It's also, of course, got a touch I'm sure you'll appreciate, which I did show off in a clip. I guessed IRL. Oh my god. And he goes, hi. Oh my god, that's so sick. Thank you. This model has a bunch of really cool toggles, actually. But I don't want to go through like all of them right now. He slams down an empty glass. I know someone who can do it. They're a pain in the ass, but this is key. They're crazy enough to do a job as stupid as the one you're proposing. A hacker called Gargoyle. The real one, not one of the wannabes. We've done business before. Here's the comms ID. Ryan pulls a data key from a pocket, weighs it over his datapad, and after a couple taps, pushes it toward you. If you get any pushback, if Gargoyle throws a little tantrum, just give it back. It's all about the drama, but in the end, you're already in with a job as stupid as this. He holds a hand up. And by the way, you really did not need to go and tell me your true objective. The last thing I want is Gemini Counterant crawling all over my operation, or worse, some vampire from the company board smelling blood. Araya's stuck in the madhouse. You might as well. Yeah. Oh my god, his reaction to telling him what we need to do is so fucking funny. I'm gonna read it out again. You tell him you want to like fucking break it and to the Gemini, it's like the technology vault of the hegemony Ministry of Technology Standards. And he's just like, as soon as you say it, a smile grows on Arroyo's face. He starts laughing and takes his time as it builds and falls. He laughs like he's strapped to a madman's rocket with no escape. And then he pours himself a drink and he's like, to a deal that gets worse all the time. Can you tell me more about this gargoyle? He gives you a look. No, who cares? Doesn't matter. Most anything you'll hear about gargoyle is made up, and half of that is true. So don't bother trying. He leans back, looking elsewhere, content to talk to himself some more. What's important is that Gargoyle always gets the job done. My theory is it's some kind of obsessive brain thing. He twirls a hand at his head to demonstrate. Probably implanted a cyber mod the wrong way and got an AI instead of a frontal lobe. Have fun with that one. He says with a smirk. What's Baird got on you anyway? What Baird's got is a good investment, and the longer she waits. He weighs at the luxurious surroundings, the career of Ray and Arroyo. The more interest she'll collect. He shrug. It's done well enough for me. We all make deals to get ahead, and I've seen worse, done worse to others. Plus, I'm an asset now. You can't simply snuff an asset owned by a bigger player. He turns and stares directly at you. And you're an asset now, too. Hypothetical question. What she got on you? I hope you know. You've got what you needed from Ryan Arroyo, with no signal on his and with no signal on his part that you can discern. The human and his human and robot servants appear once more. I stumbled over that a lot. I won't say it's been a pleasure, but if you ever have more credits than you know what to do with, or a truly exceptional business opportunity, let's trade crypto keys now so you don't have to track space dust on my carpet again. He taps his datapad and offers it, and you perform the mundane ritual which will ensure that anyone who wants to crack your mutual comms will, at least, have to put some effort into the task. Your shuttle reverses the previous route, down from the highlands across the plateau of lakes. You spot factory crawlers disgorging pipe and monorail pylons across the landscape, leaving long tracked trails of torn red dirt. Across the rocky chaos and the small cold sea, and over the mountainous slums crowned by glittering spires. Navigation pings and comms noise grows to a small roar over the heart of Tritachyon, and your shuttle returns you to orbit. I imported some mill trade contact for Tritach. Neat. Hey, Silver Dude, I see it's your first time chatting. Also, we have storage here because we started... Not here. The other Tritachyon. Like Colic. Is it Colic? Colic? I don't know how to pronounce Irish. I have like a vague idea of like how Irish spelling rules work, but... And... Oh, no, Colon. Colon. I actually know how that one's pronounced. Colon. Oh, we have a trait suggestion. Disregard. Will my 2.0 be on YouTube? Yes. I have a VODs channel, which will be updated eventually. I've just been like super behind on it. It's like a month behind. Right, also part of what I want to go here is because they sell supplies for reasonable prices. Which I'm going to need a bunch of. We do have storage here. We're going to leave this battleship here until we can like afford to do stuff with it. Until we can afford to actually equip it. Which will probably be after we have a colony of our own. Because we do not have the weapons to equip that thing. I'm gonna follow y'all in the chat's advice to put lasers on it. So the next place to go is Mayasura. Port Said Franchise Station. Up there. What are some good colony candidates? Well, Hollowhall is a really good one, and it's one we have to colonize for the Dustkeeper quest, so... Oh my god, their portrait. After connecting to the local network, you enter the comms ID for Gargoyle and then pause at the prompt to initiate the call. You look over to your comms officer and they nod, ready to act. As soon as you execute the command, the electronic warfare console lights up like the fleet action in a nebula. Comms wrangles the infosec systems with cool efficiency, coordinating active response to the nav sensors and engineering stations. After perhaps half a minute, the storms breaks. The alarm's quiet, and your primary display resolves from a mesmerizing fractal background to a heavily augmented face grinning impishly. You were ready for me, Gargoyle says too sweetly to be true before turning to an imagined audience. The rocket jockey put together enough brains to deal with my little hello. Gargoyle bounces back and applauds. Well done. So you know who I am. Tell me, why did Ryan give you my comms ID? More presents, bribes, begging? Did he finally get in trouble with that junta of puppeteering vampires he desperately wishes were his friends? On the run for the law and needs a rep wipe? A thoughtful pause. Do you always make that face when you meet new people? I have a job for you. I was told you're the best. A job? No. If I ever do a day of work, I want you to throw me out the airlock, then throw that airlock into a black hole. Hacker lounges back carelessly. But still listening, because you told me I'm the best, and I am. That was nice. But I'm not sure you really understand what it is I do. A hand studded with interface nodules waves and your display fills with news clips. Industrial shutdown, suspected sabotage, databases hacked, political comms leaked, credits missing, ghost fleets. What I do is magic. An institution, a polity, a worship, a fleet, the hegemony, the Luddic Church, the Tritachyon mega credit sucking corporation. These are machines made of people, and these people don't understand their own machines. Or other people, come to think of it. The oneness of these holy constructs is a mass delusion. But I understand. Simply, a finger pokes at you from the display. Press there. There, then there, and the bubble pops. Push on the right place at the wrong time, and the mighty become a sad joke. A gust of wind, a fart of fancy, a flimsy shell that's cracked. Understand? Yes, I believe so. Gargoyle stares at you, Slackjawed. No, you don't. You're just pretending because you think you need to look tough and smart in front of your minions. It's so obvious. Why do I even bother? Stick to driving your rocket ship, Captain Vivi. Pew, pow, blam. Take that, space pirates. Simple, direct, unsophisticated, artless. Oh, what a waste of time. Why are we even talking? Why do anything? Can you hack into the data vault of a Gemini ministry? I love it! A glorious scheme, practically neon black. Which one? All of them at once? Hold on, just one actually? You explained to Gargoyle the scope of the mission and the target, the Calicor archive, the personal data store of former Provost Thomas Calicor, which the Gemini Ministry of Technology Standards seized from the Galatia Academy in the wake of some kind of botched hyperspace experiment. Gargoyle is such a silly person, yeah? You also explained, in terms which avoid any implication of an employer-employee hierarchy, that Ryan Arroyo will be providing funding for the operation. As you talk, the comms display with Gargoyle becomes crowded with virtualized half-written lists, reference panels, and code snippets. The hacker leaps from idea to idea, rejecting and accepting contingencies several steps ahead, and adjacent perhaps from whatever you are actually saying. The visual chaos is somewhat distracting. Give you some time? It might be tough. I'm going to need to pass some credits along to a couple friends for some special tricks. Do we go all out? Ryan is buying snacks. I think we do, yes. Here's how it's going to happen. I've got a friend who will make you a little package. It should be ready by the time you get to Nova Maxios. in the Magec system, know it? You pick that up, then do fancy flying and whatever else it takes to. Install it in the hegemony comms relay in the Aztlan system. A thoughtful pause then. For the relay, going quiet to do the relay. Park your fleet. Maybe run a lone phase ship for the job if your ego is capable of surviving away from your big boy toys for a few shifts. Or this is fun. Hack the sensor array and give the hedgies some ghosts to chase. Anyway, the installation itself is easy. Any work drone you've got on staff should be able to figure out which end goes where. The real trick comes after. Gotta break the hegemony crypto. That'll be yours truly, who has got a little trick I've been saving from a couple cycles ago for just the right moment. Gargoyle holds cable trailing arms up in a premature display of triumph. It will be glorious! Then sits back down. Right, so after you install the hack device in the comm relay, come back here and you can thank me personally when I hand you a copy of the decrypted data. And friend Ryan has my list of demands. A button tap. Now, another button tap and there's a ping on your data pad as Gargoyle sends you the address of a small holding facility near the main port ring of Nova Maxios, as well as the number of a particular storage unit. It'll be there, Gargoyle says with a smile that seems to imply you're not in on a joke. Now I have a lot to do before this is ready, so go along. ComSec is going to completely blow its top when we pull this off. Gargoyle turns to another display, attention focused, cyber augments flickering at an increasing rate as the comms line disconnects you on almost as an afterthought. Okay. He really is. That was whack. I love this game's writing. In which case we are going to want to go back to Hyperzilla and we're going to want to leave most of our ships in storage. For this. Oh god, that's a Cabal fleet. So we're going to want to store the ships that don't have insulated engine assembly. Like those two. The rest of these don't have it, right? Oh no, you have it built in. You don't. These two don't. And you also don't have it. Salvagers don't have it. Oh right, we can't store our AI ships. I don't want to store the one we pilot. This is the one with... Yeah, that's the one with insulated engine assembly. And this all should be stealthy enough, I think. A fleet is over crew capacity. We have to store some crew. Because we... Just control click. Just control click. We're also going to need some more fuel. Yeah, Nova Maxios and Magec. Order jump to hyperspace. It's down here, right? I keep forgetting where Magec is. Which is weird because I go there a lot. Right there. Let's actually transponder off here. Okay, I'm keeping it off, and we'll head to Nova Maxios. Take a shuttle to visit Gargoyle's storage unit. You take a shuttle to the main spaceport concourse, leading a landing party of bodyguards and techs. The reception lounge ceilings are low. The reception lounge ceilings are low. The old tube lights flickering, but the new Maxioans are proud of their makeshift polity. Some locals catch your crew eyeing a dripping life support conduit and smile, nudging one another. The address given to you by Gargoyle leads you to a rundown logistics ring that looks to be used mostly by failing tramp freighters and smugglers. You ask a young desk clerk where to find the unit number Gargoyle provided. Oh, yes, you must be Captain Arboring? The clerk squints at the tester. Arboring. The clerk squints at the desk terminal nervously. You log away this little joke from Gargoyle as you maintain impeccable composure. I was told you'd arrived for your cargo just a few minutes ago. Please come right this way. The clerk starts to lead you through a back door. A light bulkhead lock but freezes. A pallid man in a featureless gray uniform stands on the other side, a spot of gray on the darkness beyond. Mr. Loki, sir, the clerk stutters. I wasn't expecting, if I'd been told. The man, Mr. Loki, you presume, smiles blandly and says, I will show the captain the way. Loki simply stops paying attention to the clerk, shifting his attention to you, still smiling. He nods encouragingly and turns to walk into the darkness beyond the portal. Mr. Loki leads you past rows of sealed storage units into a loading bay. Your footsteps produce a dull metallic echo. Something that smells of organic compounds is leaking. Still smiling, Loki stops and with a wave of his hand unlocks the storage unit. He speaks softly to you. When she heard of this, Jurian told me she thought it was very funny. She wanted me to come and make sure you got what the Gargoyle asked Alysta to make for you. His watery eyes stare at the storage unit. It must be a nice thing. Thanks, I think. Instead of answering, he gives you a respectful nod and says goodbye, then walks away into the shadows of the warehouse. You shake your head and turn your attention to the storage unit. Inside, you find a single standard shipping crate. You motion the techs forward and they approach the various handheld scanners. You are in no hurry to be the butt of another of Gargoyle's jokes. The lead tech starts reporting. Power source, anomalous neutrinos, and minor hyperwave phase distortion? The entire crew of technicians takes an unconscious step back. Hyperwave phasing technology has a poor reputation, and it's never been known to fit in so small a package and remain stable. An hour later, as you are finishing your second hot drink at a nearby cafe, the techs give the all clear through your datapad, concluding that as strange as the device is, seemingly a hand-built one-off hyperwave transmitter of some kind, it should pose no immediate danger. You order it removed to your flagship. On the shuttle ride back to your fleet, you ponder tactics for inserting this device into the Aztlan hyperwave relay without being spotted by Hegemony Patrol. A small fast detachment could do it, or phase ships using their fields to lower sensor profile. Or with a little luck, you could find a quiet moment between patrol rotations. Captain, we've arrived. Right, let's go to Aztlan. More trait suggestions. That would be better. That's not good. Not very good. Hi, Alchemist! Undressing me already! Oh, why did we stop? Aztlan. I don't know, this car is not Aztlan. We're not to Aztlan yet. Humbity dum. Right, before we jump, go dark, quick save. Jump, keeping the transponder off. There are patrols right here, of course. How about I talk my way out of it? Alright, where's the comms relay? Over there. Yeah, I should have transverse jumped in. What? Come on, an active sensor burst like right as I'm closing in? What do you mean? Go dark, dodge, 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 dodge. We dodged them! Oh no, that put us back in the range, fuck. I was gonna do that so I could speed up a little, but nope, that put us back in the range. We gotta go back into the nebula and dodge again. But we can get in that. Yes! Aha! Thank you for the head pat, Storier. Ah, we got in! And start Gargoyle's hack device on the Aztlan relay. You give the go order to your ops chief, who starts speaking in a low voice to the hand-picked squad of veteran salvage techs that are already crossing to the relay on a cargo drone. The entire operation is carried out swiftly and according to the drills. A few quick cuts with the low EM tools, bulkhead section removed, Gargoyle's device secured in place. Parasite and microdrones in the chassis will finish attaching key connections. Taps into fiber lines mostly. The bulkhead is sealed, and the team withdraws with a few puffs of cold gas thrusters as silently as they approached. Shortly, your comms officer confirms a short burst indicating that Gargoyle's device is operational. Despite Gargoyle's cavalier attitude toward the entire enterprise, your comms and tech officers speculate that a hack this intrusive will be discovered very quickly indeed. It would be best to make a hasty escape while you remain undetected. You wonder, too, if the Gemini will trace the hack back to Gargoyle's hideout. A Tritachyon-controlled polity is unlikely to cooperate quickly with any hegemony investigation. But that the investigation might not be official unless on an investigation, then a Black Ops snatch squad. You should retrieve the archive from Gargoyle quickly. Right. Emergency burn. Oh, God. Why are we so slow? Fine, I'll turn on my transponder. Aha, they didn't realize what I was doing. I don't know why Beli Astra is also mad at me. Oh yeah, they have like one planet here. Alright, let's go return to Gargoyle. Well, someone hostile is right there. As we pass through this belt, let's switch our transponder off. Open the comm relay, go talk to Gargoyle. You enter the comms ID for Gargoyle and nod to your comms officer who stands ready for whatever surprises Gargoyle thinks would be amusing to send through comms. No tricks this time. The display instantly resolves into a familiar face with an unfamiliar expression. Fear. Captain, you need to take me on your ship and get me out of here. They know where I am. I've really done it this time. It's incredible. The greatest data heist since the Second AI War. The hacker seems to realize the gravity of this statement. I think they are pretty, very, extremely, entirely unhappy this time. It's not safe. It'd take me to the Glacier Academy, and Ahita can hide me, right? After all I've done, she has to. Do you have the Calicor archive? There's no time for that. Gargoyle smirks at you. I see what you're trying. Don't worry, I've got it locked up nice and secure, encrypted with my own special juice, and backed up off-site. It'd take an alpha core to break it out, and that'd take time if you knew where to look. And you don't. Professor Anahita won't have that kind of time if I spill everything you've done together to the big bad hegemony. So where's my shuttle? Order shuttle to pick him up. That's the way, Captain. I'll collect my toys. Your shuttle gets in and out without any suspicious inquiries from traffic control. They're not wise to what's going on yet. Probably. You order Gargoyle confined to quarters well away from the bridge and your comms officer to keep an eye out for anything suspicious. Captain, Hegemony fleet incoming. Time to go. Right. Go dark. That's a big-ass fleet, too. This is fun. This is a fun quest. Let's head to Asconia to pick up some fuel. Actually, that might not be a good idea, given I can see that there's more than one hegemony task force looking for me. We can't make it all the way to Ada Galatia on this fuel load, though. Well, they'd be infringing on Syndrian hegemony and like Syndrian sovereignty if they came in here, so... sure, approve that. Disregard. Allow the scan. Yeah, I'm definitely not a smuggler. Let's buy some fuel from the Persian sector's premier gas station. Turn our transponder back off. Ah. Jump, keeping the transponder off. I know this isn't the right system. Why did I jump here? Fuck. That was dumb of me. Talk my way out of it. Not the intersystem jump point, the Pontus jump, the Pontus gravity well. While Trump keeping the transponder on, his Glacier Academy needs to be, no, it's me that's talking. Your fleet is interrupted in the middle of a standard approach sequence. Instead of the usual traffic control chatter, your flagship receives a comms request directly from the office of the provost. Captain, reports your comms officer. She wants to speak with you. The image of Provost Anahita Baird appears. Bring your special cargo by shuttle, she says. Directly to this docking port. A chime signals the receipt of navigation instructions and docking codes. I shall be waiting. The comm line cuts off. You step off the shuttle, thrusters clicking as they cool with Gargoyle in tow. The hacker's barrage of questions, suggestions, and handsiness towards any control panel or gadget within reach has you at the limit of your patience after only a brief shuttle ride. As promised, Provost Baird is waiting with a small group of masked guards and senior advisors. Did I hear fuck your way out of it? No, talk my way out of it. So this is Gargoyle. Anahita, we meet at last! Gargoyle bows grandly. I am honored to accept your invitation to teach at the Glacier Academy. Then stands up straight and smiles widely, looking around. What shall my curriculum be? Excellent parties, security theater, perhaps a personal account of the salacious events leading up to the third AI war? Baird smiles mirthlessly, then motions someone from her party forward. Gargoyle, meet academician Alvis Sebastian. Baird says in a tone that would be not out of place on the bridge of a Gemini warship. Alvis, kindly show Gargoyle to the guest suite we've prepared. Now, please. She turns from them to you, apparently confident that Sebastian will handle the situation. Captain, our guest complicates matters, but she turns to watch the two leave the receiving lounge, Gargoyle seemingly choosing to cooperate, with Sebastian's stammering appeals. The hacker seems to be wholly occupied by discovering how to fluster the academician. God, Sebastian. It appears that I have gained another valuable asset in addition to the Calcor archive, she says. By virtue of your initiative, of course, Captain. I will not forget that when the time comes, but she takes in her surroundings and dismisses the guards and advisors with a wave. Baird holds up a hand to indicate an adjoining transport pod. Let us remove to a more suitable setting to complete our conversation. Baird seems to study the passing conduits and vistas visible through the pod's bay windows lost in thought. The silence grows, and you find that this may be an opportunity to ask something of the provost without interrupting one of her lectures. So what do you think of Gargoyle? Baird looks at you, raises an eyebrow, then looks back at nothing. Singularly charming. I was a teacher for 20 cycles, Captain. I've had worse. So what will you do if the hegemony suspects you're behind the hack? Baird looks at you. They suspect me already, of course. The Glacier Academy will appeal the original data seizure and demand the return of basic scientific research material, which is not illegal even under old domain law. This data breach only proves the danger of restricting basic research as the situation enables unsavory parties to exploit discoveries without oversight from the Ecumenica. I appreciate the irony of my objection, of course. But this is war by public relations. There is no room for scruples. I'll be exactly as cynical as they already believe me to be, and they'll believe the act because it is true. As Baird speaks, you find a note of satisfaction in her description of plot and counterplot. Behind that truth, of course, is what really happened, which shall be a fait accompli once they discover it, and one too embarrassing to publicize. Through the silence, you can almost hear Baird thinking. The transport pod hisses to a halt, and you feel the subtle shift of A-grav fields. You step off and note that there seems to be a back entrance, which allows Baird to avoid the waiting room full of important people, unused to being asked to wait. You follow Provost Baird into her office, and the doors close with a notable absence of sound. She motions you to a seat in front of her desk as she unlocks the interface. Captain, allow me to properly compensate you for your good work. She taps the command and your personal datapad pings in response. I trust this will help cover certain of your expenses. Your personal datapad pings, incoming funds transfer, gain 100,000 credits. Now Baird's interface pings, an incoming signal. Ah, good, Baird says, and slides the datapad over for your inspection. It is a detailed progress report on Gargoyle's activities, including timetables for decrypting the Calcor archive. Sebastian is more capable than he appears. He is both persistent and meticulous, as you can see. She motions at the datapad. We should have the archive decrypted in about a week. The value of this research data is enormous, of course, but we still require the means to put theory to practice. And that means is KoC. Hers is not a unique genius, mind you, Baird says with an almost uncharacteristic lack of certainty. We could find other candidates to lead the research team, but the study and training, no, my time scale is far too short. We need Scylla KoC. Find her, Baird says, and quickly. She turns away, dismissing you. We shall speak more about what I am building toward another time. You feel the doors open soundlessly behind you, and you sense the presence of mere masked guards with a slight increase in ambient static electricity. Time to go. I need Vivi as my GM or my coach for voice acting. Aw. Right. Yeah, thank you, Hetza. Another trait suggestion. Disregard. Right, we're going to Hyperzeel. We'll buy some supplies there and pick up our ships. And then we need to go to Beta Archon to find KoC. Ooh, achieved a milestone. What's this one do? Sensor range increased by 50%. That's great, actually. Oh, we have a skill point. We have an unspent skill point. Okay. I'm a sucker for political drama thanks to stuff like Star Wars, and having a blank in a good game makes like really great content. Yeah, I don't know why it's like ... at the first part. Oh, what do we take? I'm building towards what is it? Yeah, hull restoration. Hull restoration. But I can't grab that quite yet. Yeah, build up to it. But I'm wondering what to take here. Oh, this also reduces supply use now in quality captains. That makes it really good, actually. I'm going to take that. Right, our ships are in Kulan, and that's also where we're going to buy supplies because they're cheap there, and Tritakian likes us, so... Storage, take all the ships back into our fleet. We're actually going to take the big boy with us, although we're just going to drop it off with the Dustkeepers because they won't charge us as much to keep it. Volturnian Lobster time? We could visit Volturn, but the plan was really to go exploring for Scylla KoC. You know what? We need to go buy fuel anyways. Let's stop at Voltron. Order jump to hyperspace. Injury jump point. Buy that big chunk of fuel that we are going to need. That's selling fuel, not buying fuel. Oops. That's a lot of money. We should probably sell something. I don't think I'm going to use VPC luxury goods at any point. Imagine hyperspace artillery, that would be miserable. Oh yeah, we have high value prisoner we can ransom too for a little bit more cash. Allow the scan. We don't have anything illegal. Fuck off, please. And even if we did, you couldn't find it because of our shielded cargo bays, bitch. Oh yeah, we were gonna go to... Yeah, let's just jump back in at Salus. That's faster anyways. Let's visit the bar here. You take a shuttle down to the main concourse and quickly find a like-looking establishment. The bar the Diktat shows you to is practically something of a Tritakian port. Sleek, gleaming architecture, hollow projectors, Vendrata, and propaganda posters everywhere. Everything from the drinks to the seating seems to be specifically catered for starship captains to converse with others for opportunities. While the modernity of the bar is in stark contrast to the run-down look of the ecology it is situated on, or the entire architecture that floats on Voltron in general. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, visit the Voltron Museum? We've already been there. Oh, go again because I have Sierra. Okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, bring Sierra to the Voltron Museum. We contact Sierra about the prospect of visiting the Voltron Museum. As expected, she seems pretty excited. At your behest and a considerable sum of credits, a crewman reluctantly flies down with one of her smaller spider drones, being forced to wear it like a hat under a hood to keep the other tourists from raising an eyebrow at her drone. Oh wow, this place is neat. I've never been here before, but I've certainly heard great things. I rate it 10 out of 10 by Crew or Guy 67. Lober by Highly Intelligent Lober. I love the scenic views that I can see from the edge by Cool Spacer 204 and Holy Lud, I want to bring the Andrada statue back, so Ludden badly, they won't get me this time by $$ Bala Man. So I so rarely get a chance to appreciate animals in person. The spider drone is practically vibrating with anticipation, causing the poor crewman underneath to have quite the daze. You're forced to calm her down before she jumps out from the cloak and begins running laps around the museum in excitement. After getting through the dreadful crowd in the hoverboat, you finally approach the Voltron Museum. The museum structure itself seems to be shaped in the form of a giant Volturnian lobster, the entrance being at the front of the lobster head, with glamorous palm trees and benches ringing it, pointed out to sea to provide an idealistic view for tourists. Something Sierra has pointed out quite enthusiastically. Even in the grim, dark future, usernames will never change. The first section of the museum is practically a history recap of the Diktat from his tumultuous birth in the Asconia crisis. Yeah. Sierra doesn't seem too interested, too. Seems history isn't her strong aspect. Not the slave train, Sierra grumbles. Came here for the aquatic life, not to catch up on what a drought has been up to while I've been gone. You're forced to shut her up before any more visitors or guards to raise an eyebrow at her. The animals are coming up soon. Just keep a shred of courtesy so we don't get thrown out, alright? I saw there are a bunch of food stores sporting local cuisines like roasted Volturnian lobster or fried Volturn deebweed. Sierra laments the fact that she does not have the ability to eat what must be delicious food. What interests you most, however, is what seems to be a donation booth, a small terminal. Yeah. Yeah, sure, I'll donate. After accepting donations and keying in an ID IFF code for whatever reason, the terminal shines. Thank you for donating to the Volturnian Museum Village. Yeah, 5 Diktat credit points. The next session seems to be a zoo-like exhibit with animals from different planets, mostly Volturn natives or species from bleak planets, conspicuously enough. Yeah. We saw that part. After touring the entire area and causing a disturbance among the other visitors, these aren't too interesting for a spacefarer like you, but for Sierra, it's a whole other story. Like a child being released in the giant Hychekian confectionery hyperstores, she visits each and every one of the exhibits, marveling at their inhabitants. After touring the entire area and causing a disturbance among the other visitors, she returns to your side, recounting all the various basic animals and plant fun facts she's absorbed from all exhibits. Did you know the Sardine brine krill have these really mesmerizing colored fur bristles on their sides that they use for courtship rituals? Or that these Madeiran pseudo-algae? She suddenly stops in her tracks, as do you, because before you, in the middle of the room, is a vast circular... In the middle of the section is a vast circular room bordered by a glass roof displaying a large pool of water. Floating out of the surface seems to be a massive amount of algae-like creatures. Before you can react further, she's already next to the railings, reading out one of the placards by the pool of water. Volturnus androticus. Yeah, we already read that. Wow, she whispers in awe at the massive colonial map before her. There's also a convenient aerial observation deck, which you visit after reading the placard. Using a telescope from the deck and providing reference scales, you deduce that the mat is roughly the size of an average destroyer-class vessel. Terrifying. The last exhibit before the end of the museum is a petting exhibit with Volturnian lobsters. Yeah, I don't have food to feed them. Yeah, I'll buy her a plushie. I'll continue. The two of you walk out into the salty Volturnian sea breeze once more, with Sierra chirping on and on about how she'll love her new plushie to the end of time. The trip back to the main docking arcology via hoverboat is rather uneventful, although you likely did learn something new at the trip, or at least had a good time. She certainly did at the very least. Meat. That was cute. Now I'm going to go drop off the Executor with the Dustkeepers at the forward ship. Or in... Actually, we can just drop it off in the Astropolis in the system, and I don't think that will charge anything at all. Oh, Hermes class shuttle. That's not even worth stopping for. How is the date rate? 1 out of 10. It was an 8 for great date, mate. And act, of course, so turn off sustain burn for a second just to reorient. Pictus was captured by the Sindarin Diktat. Where's Pictus again? And here, Pelanu Laukas. It's normally a large chest one. Yeah, aquariums are a great place to go for dates, especially when you're a biologist and you can ramble about shit all the time. Different decisions could have led to Lobster Revolution. Let's drop this off at the abandoned metropolis here. And I think we're gonna give the Dustkeepers like one of the, like a couple cores, just because we need to be able to pay our, like, we need to be able to pay our crews. Oh yeah, that gives us progress anyways. Yeah, that gives us progress and hope for Hallow Hall too. No major events. Yeah. Your AA course handed in. Oh, we got the first one. You got the first benefit. For Halloween, we need lobster duck, Vivi. Anyways, transponder off. Let's get going. Oh, the Procyonly colonized a Terran world out there. Where was it again? Beta Archon. Right down there. Okay. We're gonna do a bit more exploring besides once we get there. Do I have colony materials? Not really. I just need money. Well, I have, in terms of colony items, I have the Hypershunt Tap, an Orbital Fusion Lamp, and a Cryo-Arithmetic Engine. Which, unfortunately, none of them are very useful for Hollow Hall. What I really want for Hollow Hall is Soil Nanites. Probe. Your fleet approaches the probe. It is not transmitting an active transponder ID, but when your comms officer performs a direct transponder ping, the return identifies the probe as property of Glacia Academy. This is followed by a block of illegal language threatening fines and alluding to unspecified dangers inherent in tampering with said property. You suspect that these mere words, a ghost of an EM pulse sent across cold vacuum, would dissuade a few of the outer system salvagers you cross paths with. A salvage crew is dispatched under your operations chief's watchful eye. Using codes provided by Provost Baird, the team opens the probe to install a short-range relay, which allows your technicians full reign of the probe's data environment. Tech reports feed active. The probe's hull is sealed with a few quick bursts of plasma torch. Your ops chief recalls the salvage crew. Get a sit rep from the tech team. You meet your tech officer in a briefing room where they've already unfolded a portable workstation and connected a holoprojector to present findings. The probe consists of a cluster of redundant computer cores grouped into a small network. A cloud of connected glyphs rotates slowly in the middle of the space. Navigation and station holding thrusters, power supply and thermostability, rad sensors, and civ-grade field emitters. Your tech officer sets half the icons aside and upscales the remaining, revealing sub-icons identifying particular research project packages. Yellow warning glyphs denote packages that do not follow the Glacia Academy specs you have on file. What's interesting is this one, your tech officer says, bringing an unknown package into focus. There's a modified hyperdrive core in there, the kind a small starship might use. With a few key presses and a wave, the component icon explodes out into something like a glowing circuit diagram, embedded in the shadow of the probe schematics. It's like a hyperwave comms relay on combat stims. A tone of admiration comes out. Beautiful work. No idea how they stabilize pulse strength on such cheap hardware. You make it clear that, however fascinating, you're more interested in where it is directing its signals. The tech blinks as if this was hardly a consideration. It's not precisely a question of where when we're speaking of hyperspace. You give a withering look, which prompts what your underlings refer to behind your back as an executive summary. What I mean to say is, we'll need to interface with a couple of more probes like this to be able to pinpoint the transmission target with hyperspectral. That is, we need to find 2 more probes. Then we'll know, ma'am, 1 down, 2 to go. Let's scan. One thing I really like about this is how much emphasis the writing puts on the fact that you have a bunch of people under your command. Like it always mentions you having bodyguards when you're like on the planet. Your fleet approaches the probe. It is not transmitting an active transponder ID. Yep. A scan reveals unusually low mass according to the probe specs. You order a salvage crew to deploy and investigate carefully. The salver is operating a maintenance drone to make cuts in the hull at a standard access point. After the flash plasma goes dark, the drone swivels its spotlights to reveal nothing. The probe hull is empty aside from dangling rough-cut ends of conduits. Someone has completely cleaned out the internal hardware chassis. It wasn't long ago, your sensors officer reports. A radar sweep for debris spread from the intrusion incident shows a minimal spread. Whoever did this, they're probably still in system. In system, with the probe hardware you need. So let me guess, is that 1 salvage fleet we just saw? Let's save the game real quick. I know we saw a salvage fleet around here somewhere. I think that might be it. No, it's another probe. Yep. The comms officer performs an active transponder request and identifies the probe as property of Glacier Academy with the CO number matching equipment assigns to Carusa's hyperspace physics group. All crews perform their job with exemplary efficiency. Your salvage team reports that an interface was successfully installed and they've handed off control to your tech team who are already investigating the probe remotely. Hyperwave analysis is not a merely linear process, your tech officer explains. We will need 1 more data set to complete the, well, it isn't triangulation, but you can think of it like that if it helps. Captain, ma'am, you dismiss them to return to their work. 2 down, 1 to go. Right. Let's see if we can find that salvage fleet. It's like, where the hell did they fuck off to? Disregard. Disregard. Okay, genuinely, where the fuck are they? Oh yeah, we should check in the Stars accretion disk for stuff. Oh, Combine Raid. Targeting Iron Shell. Interesting. Oh, they're just hanging around here. Okay. Open a comm link. Greetings. Pardon my presumption, but I hope all is well. It's a long way back to the core worlds, my friend, and we must look after one another. Did you find a probe belonging to the Glacier Academy? I see. The scavenger looks aside to avoid your gaze. One finds all sorts of things out here, and I can't really say if we did or not. I'd have to have my assessor check the logs. Might take with a while. I'm authorized to recover Academy property, by force if necessary. I see. The scavenger taps at a console, appears to think for about a second. Oh, would you look at that? We did find something with Glacier Academy markings. Must have slipped my mind. As she looks at you accusingly. Would have returned it once it was identified properly. You could have asked nicely. We gotta look out for each other out here, remember? Otherwise we're no better than pirates or the bootlicking hedgies. I've ordered my quartermaster to check the cargo pods, so it's all yours. Burn bright, Captain. Into an asteroid for all I care. A salvage team quickly secures the target in your hold for your technology team to investigate. The schematics of the third probe float before you in the briefing room. Our tinkerer has been at work, your tech officer explains, highlighting the ghostly specs of a highly modified miniature hyperdrive core. Here we see much of the same setup as previous examples, but they've made a few improvements. Tangle's inscrutably annotated component icons are highlighted. Here and here, a bizarre collection of parts from a variety of sources. Some are even officially restricted Militech. This is good. Very good. We've got a much more accurate read for the meta array, which, Frantic tapping on a tripod. It looks like an orbit somewhere in the Asira system. Whoever's running these things, that's where their receiver is. What would this receiver look like? Your tech officer thinks. It wouldn't be anywhere near as large as a normal comm array. There's some very clever miniaturization here. Fragile, yes, but it works if the stealth is the goal. Our engineer appears to use scavenged parts. A wild variety of port sources, maybe pirate, but more sophisticated by far. And it also shows a neutrino source, like any starship drive or civilian reactor. The hyperwave effects would be, well, it couldn't be placed somewhere populated, that's for sure. So this hyperwave comm relay would tight beam to the final receiver, presumably. If we found the relay, we would know where to find whoever is at the other end of this thing. Stable orbit, neutrino source, uninhabited, the Asira system. You return to the bridge and order your officers to stations. Right. All the way back there. On the way back, let's explore some systems. Oh, I've already explored a few around here. What should be Drew right? Arsenal Station. Woo! Explore. Begin salvage operations. Hurricane Merv Launcher blueprint. Antimatter Blaster blueprint. Some LPCs. Bunch of like supplies and stuff and some weapons. Salvage the wreckage. Ooh, we also got advanced optics finally. There's a sensor contact in orbit around that planet. Let's see what that is. Disregard. A mining station. Ooh. Go ahead without a nanoforge. Let's do it on Sierra's ship. Begin salvage operations. Overlord Sweet Beta ISOW command and control package. Adaptive Tactical Core. Huh. Also a Gamma Core, which is nice. And a bunch of ore, which we'll take for now as long as we don't have anything else to fill up our bays. Locator, VPC ship components. Survey the planet. Standard volcanic world. Yeah, there's an acid world over there. Let's go explore that one. Oh, and there's a tiny barren world here. A tiny, tiny one. Scanning it for its magnetic field to get some hyperspace topography progress. This is terrible, planet. This is a terrible planet. Okay, let's go to the acid world now. Crashed terraforming drone. While most of Elysion has an extremely harsh environment, a crashed terraforming drone has managed to maintain a habitable oasis around itself. However, the habitable area is limited and will not extend far enough for a large colony should one be established on this planet. Huh. Interesting. Let's not go all the way there. Let's go to Fearsome. Let's go to Fearsome Engine. Interesting name for a star system. Let's speed up time a bit more as we go there. There's a slipstream in the way. No. Okay, we managed to fling ourselves through that. Why are we going so far off track? We turned off sustained burn. What the hell was that? Huh, danger level high. Ooh, phase frigate. Orbital habitat and ancient remnant hangar. Yep, salvage the gremlin. Oh, some harvested organs, neat. Oh yeah, there are some scary remnant fleets in here. Survey this. Ooh, some scattered ruins. Ooh, another big Auroran blueprint. We can trade that in at Prism. Avoid that scary. That is scary as fuck. There's something... it's a debris field near the star. Okay. Ah, the Nexus is in orbit around that planet. Well, we're not going to be able to do much with that. Oh, that let them see us. Even if only briefly. Oh, the Remnants don't hate us, right. I totally forgot the Remnants aren't hostile to us. They'll even let us survey this planet. There's more sensor contacts out here. Mostly debris. Salvage some decent stuff. Salvage this one too. More decent stuff. Survey this planet. I should see if I can interact with the Nexus, actually. Yeah, that's a good idea. These ones don't like me. Why is that one remnant fragment hostile? Okay, so they don't really care enough to talk with me. Go down to this one. Brown dwarf, huh? Methane world, interesting. Has to have been probing operation? Why are supplies all of a sudden draining so fast? Nothing interesting. Ooh, some decent organics and volatiles there. Oh, that seems to be all that's here. You go deeper in the system. There's an ancient remnant hangar? You are right, I totally forgot about that. Oh, there's something near the star. I should probably go back to the system for that. A derelict ship, a tiny frigate. Whatever, it's some supplies. Yeah, that's better. Where was that ancient remnant thing? Wait, orbital habitat and ancient remnant hangar here. Orbital habitat, explorer. Remnant automated defenses, they're not a serious threat. I'll do this just because people wanted to see more combat. I saw it consistently on the VODs on YouTube, so instead of auto-resolving, so. I never reassigned myself properly to the ship. Or assign the one officer I have. Anyways, switch ships. Oh, time for hydrating in a big stretch. Alright, let's do that big stretch real quick. Let me pause the game and do a big stretch. Get less close to that. And then we can open fire with our high energy focus, open fire with our auto pulse. Shredded. Yeah, the messengers completely shredded them too. Oh, we're not going to spend any store points to recover any of those. Seemingly intact fuel tanks. Tap the tanks. Begin salvage operations. I'll take everything but the food, and I'll drop some ores. Salvage the field. Drop more ores. What? Drop more ores. There we go. They'll try and stop us from salvaging it. Don't really want to deal with that shit. Let's get out of here. And we're like really low on money and supplies, so we're going to want to head back to civilized space. The core worlds. Ysira. We're getting really thrown off track by all that. Hyperspace storm interactions. Yeah, very thick hyperspace storms on this side, unfortunately. Oof, we're out of money. Privateer. Accept the comms request. Captain Vivi Leandra, the mercenary captain speaks flatly, hands steepled before her. You have information which my employer would like you to share with them. Exclusively. Then she waits, perfectly content to let the silence grow. What information is that? I think you know perfectly well. You came here to find something. Or someone. You appear to be traveling with purposeful intent after investigative activity at the last stop. My employer believes that you found what you were looking for, and would like you to share that information under exclusive terms. Who exactly is this employer? My employer, who is interested in exclusive access to your information, who also has a passion for discretion, so you need not worry about your reputation if you sold out your own employer. Much. I don't respond well to threats. Oh, did I make a threat? You'll get nothing from me. After you reply, the mercenary sits unmoving for a full 10 seconds. Then she closes her eyes and nods her head. I see. The merc opens her eyes again, looks at you again, unblinking. How disappointing. Good shift, Captain. That's it? You're just going to leave? That's it? She says, then pauses unblinking. Until next time, Captain, the mercenary says finally. She sets the comms link on you. The static devolves to black. Interesting. Let's stop by Captain Starworks. Alright, I need to turn off my transponder. Transplutonic still okay here. Messick is still very well here. Food, I don't care to find a good place to sell it. Ore sells very well here. Transplutonic ore as well. Chip components sell for a decent amount here. Metals are excess here. And survey data always sells for the same amount. So do the organs and drugs sell for also good amounts. Can't really be bothered to find a better place to sell the metals. And then we'll buy some supplies. So in this system, away from inhabited stuff, and it's a neutrino source, so... Turn the transponder on comply. I totally forgot I had my transponder off. So yeah, not there. I felt I might as well check that. Huh, I'm getting a notice to go to Kyle habitat. Let's go there then, I guess. Akina Dawson. Right. Welcome, welcome. What business do you have for me today? Do you know anything about the Glacier incident? Yes, actually. Recent events in the Glacier system, right? Dangerous what the Academy got up to, and while they deserve reprimand, the hegemony reacted with typical overreach. The Persian League filed a complaint in the Interfactional Dispute Council, did you hear? We don't expect much to come of it, but someone has to say something, right? The Archon examines you first and say, why do you ask? Do you think something like that could happen here? Of course not. I'm kept informed of all major industrial and research projects in the system. And the pirates? They aren't capable of anything truly catastrophic, unless another warlord shows up, but that's why we pay our share to the Persian League Arma Armatura. The Archon sits up straighter. So I assure you, Captain, you have nothing to worry about while doing business on Kyle habitat. Good to know, I'll rest easy. I'm gonna save before asking her about Silicarus. Yeah, I'm looking for Silicarus. The Archon's eyes flick to one side, then back to you. I don't think I've heard of her, she says, recovering a placid tone of bureaucratic impatience. You know there's a public comm directory for this sort of thing, Captain? Okay. Yeah, do you know anything about the I'm looking for Silicarus. She was involved. This again. The Archon's eyes flick off to one side, then back to you. Like I told you before, there's a public comm directory. This is outside the purview of my office. Guess what is it I should be charging by the minute? Okay. Take a shell down to visit a Boxside bar. A Boxside dar is what I said. Why did I... Dockside bar. As you enter the bar, you sense a lively tension between the crews from across the League worlds. Dour Kazaronians in fine uniforms drink spirits, while proud but poor Myasurans drink pints of rice beer. A crew of Tillians trade rounds and boast with a couple of Zaganian bridge officers who are making a poor example of Luddic temperance. Glowing displays show media feeds from all the worlds of the League, and their speakers contribute to a dull roar of human white noise. It's a shot in the dark, but you could try asking if anyone here knows anything about Silicarus. A couple technicians... Ooh, ask the technicians what's going on. The station technicians in grungy Lakyle habitat jumpsuits respond well to your offer to buy them around and listen to their troubles. You mention having had comms disruption in an ion storm once, and ask what sort of trouble they're having. It's strange, is the big one. There's no real pattern to it. Every few shifts, it just goes zap. Lots of noise coming up some of the orbital beacons. Bossman makes us go out and check the beacon, and it's nothing. A lot of fooling around for no reason, I say. Not no iron storm either. We know that. This is the small partner. Ain't no natural, was it? What do you think it is? Ghosties. This is the big one, eyes wide. The smaller one sighs and mumbles under their breath. Blood's sake. The big one looks annoyed. No, let me tell it. I told you I wouldn't run your ear about it anymore, but the captain here asked nicely. Please go on. It's all them people that died in Groombridge when the reactor went critical. The big one says. No, not went critical, was made critical, because it was murder. They got no peace, see, because it was in a clean death and there's no justice. So they're calling out for someone to help. That's what it is, a signal from Groombridge. Small one speaks so quietly. Can't know that. How do you know the interference is coming from Groombridge? Directional receiver. The big one looks proud. Yeah, but the small one interjects. I gotta remind you to reset the alignment origin on that thing half the time when we're out checking beacons. The noise could be from anywhere. Could be anything, some pulsar or something. I thought you said it wasn't a natural source. Well, no. I'm just saying as an example. Anyways, we gotta get back on shift. Bottoms up. The techs finish their drinks, give you the regards, and head out. You don't find their mixture of work and intemperance particularly reassuring, but maybe there's something weird. There is something weird going on at Groombridge Habitat if someone really is sending secret encrypted signals. That's a good lead. The station's primary reactor has become stuck in the dirtiest possible failure mode. Considering standard safety mechanisms, this can only be the result of intentional sabotage. Your rad counter ticks away impatiently. There's the station for the sign of mysterious signals. You assemble your senior officers to discuss the matter of secret comms bursts directed at the Asira system. A preliminary scan of Groombridge Habitat rotates slightly in the holo projector display. Why here? I mean, rhetorically speaking. Your nav officer says, because the only reason to relay signals from here to Lykale if your signals were coming from a hidden hypercom relay. Your comms officer raises a hand and your nod speaks. It's unconventional, but Groombridge is uninhabited, so no one would complain about hyperwave wash. Your ops chief speaks next. The reactor chute in rads like it is, no one would look too close, no scavengers. If there was a hypercom relay here, how would we find it? Rad armor drones, your ops chief says. One-way trip. If a relay is in there, it'd have a damn strong rad shield, so we'll know what to look for. Do it. At the turn of the next shift, the armored drones are prepared, and your ops chief oversees their deployment. You follow their progress to the projection of the Groombridge Habitat, filling in fuzzy volumes. Shielded from your scans or too radioactive to get a good read. With sharp details. Oh yeah, a lot of stuff tends to forget that radiation also fucks up electrical equipment as much as it fucks up biological systems. An anomalous shielded mass is found soon enough in a damaged workbay in close proximity to the deadly core of the station. Tech and comms begin discussing how to breach and hack the relay. Your ops chief growls at interruption. If I were them, I'd really get to blow if I got looked at funny. The other officers go quiet. Sensor speaks up. We just have to intercept an in-system signal, right? Assuming it's typecast, we could deploy a cloud of detectors. Make it so. Within hours of establishing a makeshift detection cloud, the relay sends a comm squirt. The whiff of an outbound signal is projected by your navigator on your flagship bridge main holo display. The line points toward Lykale Habitat. Not quite, but close enough. Maybe a relay in a close orbit? This is the sort of tech Caruso is familiar with, and even if it is arguably circumstantial, it's a weird enough setup that you can probably scare the authorities at Lykale with a revelation. Ghosties indeed. With only one piece of evidence that Caruso is at Lykale Habitat, you're not absolutely certain this would not be dismissed as merely circumstantial if you attempted to leverage it against the authorities in some way. You need to find one more piece of corroborating evidence. All right, let's visit the bar again. Should he be to join the one with the perfect posture? And decline. Ask about Silicarus. You ask around about the missing academician buying moderately priced drinks to lubricate the flow of information. This is a spacer bar, and those spacers try to look out for one another. You're finding little in the way of leads, mostly shrugs and apologies. I'm sorry you're having trouble finding your friend, says an off-shift dock worker in a utilitarian vac suit liner. I shall pray for your reunion. Wait, are you some kind of pather? The doctor's expression shuts down instantly. I am not a pather, ma'am. I do follow the teachings of the Church of Galactic Redemption, and I thank you not to make bigoted assumptions. We're not all fanatics and terrorists. They stand, leaving an untouched drink. Blessings of Lud be upon all souls, both large and small. Why do I get the feeling let's visit the bar again is something you say IRL? I'm looking for Silhouette Cruise. What? Oh, is that right? What is it? More black boxes to deliver to a need to load no location needing me to override station protocol? Written order. She swipes with her hand to underline the point. No exceptions. I told you people this before. Or if anything goes wrong during intrastation transport of Lud knows what you people are stowing away in your secret warehouse, it'll be my head in the airlock. I love how she accidentally just spilled the beans immediately. That was a lucky guess of who to talk to, actually. I just like randomly guessed maybe if we talked to someone else here. I'm going to have to insist. No exceptions, she says pointedly. How about the comm relay? I'm looking for Silhouette. Do you know anything about the glacier? Do you think something like that could happen here? Of course not. I'm kept informed of all major, yeah. I have proof that Silhouette is on this station. The Archon freezes up, stammering. Of course with only one piece of evidence to support your claim. I'm looking for Silhouette. Yeah, no, I'm not looking for ship. She's a person. He looks up at you. Ah, of course, you want to query the station's public comm directory. Good day, citizens. Stay vigilant. Before you can respond, the comm link terminates. I'm looking for Silhouette. I don't know her. If this query does not concern station business, I'm going to become very disappointed, Captain. Whoever you are. This is very important. Explain. The station commander holds up his hand to stop you before you can even inlay the groundwork. A wonderful story, I'm sure. Unfortunately, I'm very busy looking after the safety of the station and the surrounding volume. Between pathers, pirates, and imaginative independent operators, the few resources given to me by the League are stretched very thin indeed. If you want to help pay your tariffs, keep your transponder on, and stay out of trouble. Thank you, Captain. Ow, we keep hitting fucking... Yeah, install and run the Snoop algorithm. A two-spacer team runs a work drone to the relay and makes a quick haul cut to access a hard data connection. Within a minute, the Snoop algorithm is set loose, the hull resealed, and the ops team returns. Now you wait for it to do its work. After a tense hour or so, your comms officer informs you that the Snoop is complete. A team of officers and specialists proficient in tech ops, infosec, and comms has been analyzing the Snoop's data as it has come in, and have already prepared a preliminary report. The team is still finishing the detailed analysis and decrypting what we can, your comms officer reports, but we've got a pretty good idea of the big picture, which is, it looks like most major factions and a few freelancers and underworld agents have been showing an anomalous level of activity in the Asira system. There are plausible explanations for this, of course, but what tipped us off was some sloppy infosec by a Pather infiltrator. Your comms officer pulls up a communications ID and a League ID summary. Jensen Galagos, all the signs of a Pather infiltrator. The ID doesn't hold up to scrutiny, as you can see. Yes, Captain, the big picture. They flip through some irrelevant data logs, then focus again on a series of messages sent as text. They slipped up here, mentioning KoC by name, though misspelled. That led us to discover a simple code system used by what appears to be a cell of pathers operating on LazyLib habitat. The League ID of Not Jensen Galagos is joined by a handful more IDs with unannotated discrepancies and errors. Lots of communication, both text and hollow. They think KoC is on LazyLib habitat, but they can't get close to her, and they don't think their identities will hold up to a security check. Which is correct, your comms officer says with a touch of pride. It sounds like they're asking home base to call in some big guns, whoever that might be, or whoever. The full report will be completed within the shift, but you know what you need to know. LazyLib habitat, with 2 different pieces of evidence, yeah. Okay, now we can finally talk to her. I know KoC is on this station, and I can prove it. Tell the Archon about the Pather cell operating here. You explained to Ark and Dawson that you intercepted comm logs that reveal that a cell of Pather terrorists has infiltrated LazyLib habitat under false identities to track down KoC. They know about the League intelligence safe house, and they have requested reinforcements to finish the job. As the Archon reads your uploaded log analysis, she pales and stares wide-eyed at revelation. We're just a small polity. Siavong told me that no one would ever know, and now there are Pathers crawling in the Ludcursed walls? Tell the Archon about the secret hypercomms relay on Groombridge Station. As you upload sensor readings in the scans recorded by rad-hardened drones, you explain to Archon Dawson what they show. That you discovered a secret hypercommunications relay in the derelict Groombridge habitat, and it's been sending periodic transmissions to a repeater close to LazyLib habitat. Someone has been talking without using official channels. The Archon goes pale. I was told that it'd all be above board. If they're keeping secrets from me, there's no telling what they could be doing. You nod. The Archon shakes her head. How could this happen? They said there'd be no wild experiments. Let me see, KoC. You don't know the Persean League anything. I'm under strict orders too. I mean, to keep intelligence matters of the Persean League. Policy secrets. Orders from Kazaron? I can see who really runs LazyLib. It's not like that at all. The Archon sputters. LazyLib is free and proud. Small, yes, but strategically important. And not tied up in the nepotistic gens politics of Kazaron. Her face starts turning red. They don't understand. Out here, we have to work for a living. We face risks those fools can't imagine. What kind of deal is this league if they won't wipe out that pack of pirates holed up in Captain? They've been hounding us for cycles. And the fleet taxes. Archon Dyson closes her eyes and takes several deep breaths, then meets your gaze with a new determination. You know what? You're right. I am? The Archon's voice steadies with the cold rage that's been building for many cycles, it seems. It's time to show them who LazyLib really belongs to. And it's not a bunch of Kazaron Gens babies tracking dirt onto our fine station. Captain, take a shuttle. Meet me at the executive docking ring. Let's go see the Scylla KoC. The Archon doesn't await your reply before she pounds the comms disconnect. You're left staring at the spinning crest of LazyLib Habitat's Executive Council. Okay. Meet the Archon and visit the safe house of Scylla KoC. You step off your shuttle and meet the grim-faced Archon Dawson and our entourage. You introduce to the other 6 members of the LazyLib Executive Council. The Archon assures you of their full support, though a surreptitious eye roll by one of the council members in the back suggests that the Archon's enthusiasm is not shared by all. Archon Dawson speaks a quiet word into her comm band, and a small squad of diversely equipped LazyLib militia appears. Captain, let's go see that safe house, she says, and turns to lead your party toward a station transport shaft. Follow the Archon. The safe house is a low-rent commercial warehouse. Oh, I gotta snooze ads. No. And a medium security volume of the station ring. The thin bulkheads leave you just within earshot of the thudding bass of the Twilight Entertainment Concourse a couple sections over. As a score of officials and station militia approach the entrance of the safe house, a standard cargo lock, a trio of lounging League agents light to their fleet feet. Watch what happens. The station Archon strides forward and channeling the resentment you stoked, harangues the League agents for endangering the station, stomping on the rights of League citizenry, and above all, gross incompetence. The young Kazaronian agent in command wipes a drop of sweat from their forehead. Archon, we've got this, League security demands. No, you don't got this. The operation is riddled with leaks. The Archon glances briefly at you, and your meltdown of an operation is a direct threat to our security. Locale Habitat is exerting its sovereign rights in this matter as of now, with the full support of the Executive Council. The League agent lowers their wavering pistol, and at that, the flanking agents lose the strength of their composure. The Archon takes the agent's pistol, checks the safety, then shoves the agent away, leading you to the airlock. The control panel gives way to executive override codes, and the Archon motions for you to pass through the armored doorway. A woman stands before you, holding a datapad, looking quizzically at the newcomers. You look around the dark space, taking in the shadowy equipment racks, humming machines, and cargo crates. A small zero-G style hab pod in the corner must be your domestic space. Still a Carouse, I presume. Yes, that's me. And Archon Dawson. This is unexpected. To what do I know the honor? The honor. The Archon nods toward you. Captain Vivi Leandra, who has a way of poking around in other people's business. Now it's your turn. I have a message for you. Archon Dawson eyes you, a nonverbal inquiry about whether she is intruding, and concludes that she is. I'll let you two speak privately. Citizen Carouse, I am informing you that you are now under direct protection of the Locale Executive Council. We shall ensure your safety on the station, and she casts a glance back at the League's agents, and ensure your right to freedom of movement as per the Persian League Charter. As if just remembering its existence, the Archon slips the League agent's pistol onto her belt, nods, and steps towards the ongoing shouting match back in the airlock. Baird wants me back, doesn't she? Carouse crosses her arms. Give her Baird's message on your datapad. You pass the datapad to Carouse, and she takes it to a chair set at a workstation a few meters away, activating a privacy field that dulls the sound and blurs her image. Look around. You turn to examine the workshop. Racks of sub-AI processing cores, sleep and coolant cradles festooned with wires. An A-grav-equipped overhead winch holds a machine casing and safety locks above a microassembler with its modular components exposed. The workbench nearby holds several multipurpose engineering arms hovering over some device, its innards arranged like an exploded engineering diagram. A couple minutes later, the privacy field collapses and Carouse emerges. She looks tired. She hands the datapad back to you and says, I'll come with you. What did Baird say? Carouse looks at you with eyes hardened and gives an ironic half smile. Baird always gets her way, didn't you know? Well, let's go then. Okay, but I need... Carouse looks over her workbenches, a computing array, and projects in various states of completion. My, things. You inform her that you have a special team that's well practiced in moving delicate scientific equipment. In fact, you'll introduce her to your ops chief to make arrangements right now. Within the hour, with a full cooperation of the Locale Executive Council and the station quartermaster, you have Scylla Carouse and her equipment packed and transported to your fleet. Next stop, Galatia Academy Station. Baird always gets her way. I like Anahita Baird. I'm getting a bunch of pings on Discord. Let me check what those are real quick. Nothing important. Okay. Order a jump to hyperspace. We're gonna go visit Baird again. I gotta stop at Asconia to pick up fuel. Sindrian jump point. What the hell? Right, let's buy some fuel. We can't pay for a full load of fuel. Oof. Buy 900 fuel. We could go sell the heavy ordnance at the Phrygian immigration checkpoint to actually get quite a bit of money. I was going to hold on to heavy ordnance in case we needed to raid shit, but... If we traded this instead of turning it in, it would actually fund us for quite a while, which I think I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm just going to trade that in for the money. Allow the scan. Apply and prepare for an inspection. Yep. Right, in that case, let's actually buy full fuel and a bunch more supplies. Let's go visit Anahita Baird. We got both the Calicor Archive 4 and Silicarus. Your fleet is interrupted in the middle. Yeah, she's interrupting again. Oh, there's ads going on. I didn't even notice. We should wait till those are over. Let me take a moment to clear my throat. Actually, I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick too. Hi, Alchemist. I'm also back from the bathroom. Anyways, the image of Provost Anahita Baird appears. Captain, it is good to see you return, finally. Bring her by shuttle, she says. Directly to the docking port. A chime signals the receipt of navigation instructions and docking codes. I'll meet you there. Comm line shuts off. You step off the shuttle, thrusters clicking as they cool, followed by Silicarus. The scientist was quiet on the brief shuttle ride, which has returned to Glacier Academy station after her time in hiding. As promised, Provost Baird is waiting with a small group of masked guards and senior advisors. Academician Sebastian waves as your gaze drifts over him. It's so good to have you back with us, Scylla, says Baird. Wave back to Sebastian, yeah? Relationship improved? Sebastian smiles widely as he waved back. Baird is intent on Carus and makes no acknowledgement. Carus nods to Baird's words, though occupies herself with examining the reception lounge. It hasn't changed much, she says. Something in this doesn't please the provost, you think? Oh well, says Baird. I believe you'll find that quite a lot has changed. Academician Alva Sebastian, please come forward. Thank you. I understood that you knew Scylla back. At his vigorous nod, she says, yes, of course. You did the thing, the best thing. Wave to best academician. Yeah! He's cute. Elvis is cute. I think he's really cute. Sebastian begins to welcome Carus, shaking her hand, asking her about her trip. Carus raises an eyebrow at the question, and Baird interrupts. There will be time for that later, Alvis. Please show the newly reinstated academician Carus to her quarters. Then show her the new laboratory. Baird pauses, seeming to examine Carus for a response, but Scylla simply bows her head slightly in acknowledgement without meeting Baird's eyes. Scylla, I hope you can thrive here. Again, please go with Alvis. And keep an open mind, Baird says. With a sigh, Baird turns from them to you. Captain, thank you for finding her and bringing her home. The provost watches the two leave the receiving lounge, starting to chat. Carus finally starting to smile. With Scylla, we can begin it all again. Baird holds up a hand to indicate an adjoining transport pod. Let's remove to a more suitable setting for the continuation of our discussion. Baird seems to study the passing conduits and vistas visible through the pod bay's windows, lost in thought. The silence grows, and you find that this may be an opportunity to ask something of the provost without interrupting one of her lectures. She doesn't like you, does she? Baird looks at you for a long moment. You think you see something new, something almost like emotional pain. Scylla never appreciated the gifts the Academy, offered her. It's how she was raised, perhaps. Her insubordination was indulged, became habitual. But with time, when she sees what we accomplish, maybe her higher sense of rationality will win out. I know she's capable of it. Baird turns, staring forward, and sets her jaw. I don't think the Persian League will be happy to lose Carus. Some among their ranks, yes. A hint of a smile forms on Baird's face. But others can see that this is the best way forward. The League can't pull the best and brightest from the entire sector. The Galatia Academy can. They don't have the theoretical research and experimentation infrastructure we do. It's all practical matters with the fleet armamentarium. Weapons, warships, heavy industry, and doling out contracts to Gen's allies. Furthermore, sub-factions within the League could not call an open vote on a matter so delicate as this. We merely resolved their political questions by other means. The provost tips her head towards you, acknowledging your role. Through the silence, you can almost hear Baird thinking. The transport pod hisses to a halt, and you feel the subtle shift of agrav fields. You step off and note that this seems to be the back entrance, which allows Baird to avoid the waiting room full of important people unused to being told to wait. As you enter Baird's office, you notice that Gargoyle is in the sitting area, heels resting on the common table. The hacker casually closes a holo display. Oh, so good of everyone to join me! I was getting awfully bored. I thought I might read some files, but you got here just as I was getting started. Although she shows no outward change in expression, you get the familiar feeling of potent apprehension and clarity, which fills your gut when a high-powered starship weapon is armed to fire. Provost Baird speaks with firm authority. An amusing prank, I'm sure. Now remove your feet from there before I have you removed from my office again. Yes'm. Gargoyle mutters sullenly, dropping boots to the floor. Provost Baird moves behind her desk, brushes the surface with a scowl, then taps a few keys. First, Captain, she says, you ought to be compensated for your fine work recovering a valuable asset. Your personal datapad pings in response to a command she entered into her desk interface. Gargoyle perks up and withdraws a highly modified datapad, trailing loose cables. After a moment, it also pings, to which Gargoyle says, Anahita, don't spoil the good captain. Are you watching my accounts? Gargoyle gives you a guilty look, slowly stowing the datapad. Don't even start. Fight about it after this meeting. She gives her head a shake and returns her attention to the desk interface. A holoprojected image blooms into the space above Baird's desk. A surveillance feed of a gleaming new physics laboratory. Carus is being introduced by Sebastian to various academicians, judging by their formal dress, and technicians in various states of protective garb. They look young and eager to work. She seems to be settling in, Baird says, motioning at the display. Sebastian is more capable than he appears. He has been both persistent and meticulous in facilitating the rebirth of this research team. Gargoyle speaks up. And just look what happens when he's not keeping an eye on me. All sorts of trouble. Baird nods in acknowledgement and says, "My team has been working on the Calicor data, decrypted thanks to Gargoyle's hard work, I must admit." You see Gargoyle take a small bow as if having completed a masterful performance. "Though we started reopening previous avenues of research," she says. "Having Carus here to form the heart of the advanced theory team will result in tremendous progress after Calicor's bungling. This is her life's work, after all." "And," Gargoyle interrupts, "I cracked those hegemony snooper sats. All reports will be green across the board. No suspicious hyperspace folding going on here, officer." Baird nods in acknowledgement again. "Indeed, Gargoyle. Has been very useful." She turns to you. "And you as well. I anticipate that you'll be instrumental in carrying out these experiments to their full effect, as I expect that some will entail dramatic results." Provost Baird pauses and turns to you, examining your reaction. "You must be wondering what this is all for, Captain." You're obviously trying to reopen the gates. Almost unconsciously, she shoots to look at you, a flash of anger for ruining her moment before she catches herself. "Yes, Captain. And more, this is about opening up the galaxy again. Everything I have done, everything I have worked for, has always been about the gates." Gargoyle makes a tiny applause at this revelation, somewhat undermining the gravity of Baird's speech. Baird ignores this, taps a datapad, and the holoprojector flickers a 3D hyphae map in existence. You recognize the image, a map of the domain-era gate network within the Persian sector. A dense spot in one prominent lobe contains what you know as the core worlds. Or, more precisely, what the gates can do. Gargoyle speaks up again, more earnest somehow than usual. "Freedom! Imagine that, Vivi. The technology of the domain used to enslave humanity, liberated. The small minds that rule us, they're all still shackled by domain mindset. All alike in their own way. Tri-tech, letters, the hegemony. Soulless minions of orthodoxy, all of them. Imagine if we took that all away from them. Imagine if anyone could go anywhere and do anything." Gargoyle cackles, while rocking back and forth. You notice that Baird has watched Gargoyle without emotion throughout this speech. As Gargoyle settles down, becoming distracted by a datapad, the Provost speaks to you in a tone of commanding finality. "Return in a week or so, Captain. My people need time to work, and you've earned a break. But keep your head down. The factions are restless after what you pulled in Nasira." Baird turns to her desk console, expressions moving across her face as she appears to skim messages. "That is all, Captain." "And Gargoyle," she says after a moment, "I want to talk about your intentions with this technology." Baird turns from her desk display and looks through you. "There is no technology, Captain. Merely possibilities. And vast though those possibilities may appear, they are yet mere possibilities." Oh God, another bot. Please ban. "We shall speak of this later." You feel the doors open soundlessly behind you and the mirror mask. "Yeah. Time to go." Gargoyle joins you on the way out, giving you a sympathetic look while muttering something. "Oh, Academician Sebastian." "Yeah. Captain, how are you?" he says and stammers. I'm sorry, I'm supposed to ask you. Provost Baird would like to meet with you concerning a very important development. If you would please come meet her as soon as, at your convenience, that'd be wonderful." He pauses for breath. "That's it. I'm sure we'll see you soon. Thank you. Bye?" You managed to close the comms link with unusually little small talk from Sebastian. "Yeah, inform the agent that the provost is expecting you for a meeting." "Oh?" The junior academy agent raises their eyebrows at you, making a show of believing your statement while checking their datapad. "Oh!" You see the truth register on the face. "Oh! Yes, immediately. Please, ma'am, if you'd be so kind as to come with me right away, we'll get you to your meeting with Provost Baird." May get some water. "See ya, Hetza." You enter the provost's office once again. Baird's desk is messier than usual, covered in memory cores, interfacing devices, and an anonymous matte gray case. Good. Now that you're here, I believe Gargoyle should be joining us via comms. Baird's eyes flick annoyed to a portable holocomms unit on her desk, where an image of the hacker's head is intently paying attention to something else. Baird turns fully toward you and begins her speech. Having examined the decrypted Calicor archive, we now have hard leads on a certain collaboration my predecessor carried out with senior executives of the Tritakian Corporation. Tritakian pursued research forbidden by the Gemini at a location outside the core worlds referred to only by the code name Alpha Site. The archived communications have been algorithmically stripped of contextual descriptions. However, Baird pauses, seeming to relish the moment of knowing something that you do not. Wait it out. There are many signs that an individual with the surname Astrea is involved. Who we are almost certain is... Gargoyle interrupts. Khaleesi Astrea, former weapons engineer employed at the Kalan Starforge in the High Brazil system by Tritak, and rather underpaid in light of how essential the suit seemed to have thought she was to the project. Baird sets her jaw. Thank you, Gargoyle, she says. Kindly elaborate for the captain here. The hacker grins. Love to. So TT fired Khaleesi over some incident, but if you look at her credit records, a couple taps in the display fills with tables and numbers, there are recurring payments. We're talking massive credits. Something to do with Project Ziggurat. Whatever that is, it sure makes up for her low salary at Kalan, and... Using one hand to slide through the volume control of the holocom unit down low, Baird keeps her gaze on you. We think Khaleesi Astrea was promoted to this Alpha Site, she says. Obviously, there are others involved, but she's a senior ordnance engineer that's clearly connected to the project. And her infosec practices were sloppy. I want to know what Tritakian was doing at this Alpha Site. Our best lead so far is Khaleesi Astrea. Go to Hyperzeel and find out where she's disappeared to. Someone must know where she's gone or has some evidence of her intentions. Tritakian watches everyone. Someone will be willing to sell you that information. Baird turns and stares through the shaded diamond matrix, windows overlooking the annexes and concourse of Glacier Academy. I'm sure you can find her for me, Captain, just like you found Carouse. Do you have any idea what this research was for? I have a strong theory, says Provost Baird, but I don't want to bias your investigations. She gives you a look over her shoulder. Judging by the resources Tritakian put into this project, it will either be a groundbreaking discovery or a vast disappointment. Gargoyle, do you have more information? The hacker appears to speak, but is muted. Gargoyle's head gives Baird an annoyed look. I'm sure you can contact Gargoyle on your own time, Captain, she says without looking at you at the holocom display. I've got everything I need. Now let's talk to Gargoyle. You enter the ID, hand hovering over a glowing confirm signal. Your comms officer nods, ready to respond to whatever surprises Gargoyle thinks would be amusing to send through the link this time. The display resolves from a mesmerizing fractal background to a familiar face grinning impishly at you. Vivi, are you back to find something interesting to do? I've got all sorts of wonderful ideas. What was that you were saying about Project Ziggurat? The Provost doesn't think it's important to let me explain, Gargoyle stops. Maybe you should just fly off to Hyperzeel without knowing anything but the name of one crackpot weapons engineer. No, go ahead, I'll wait. Tell me how it goes. The silence shows out for nearly 3 seconds before Gargoyle begins ranting again. Imagine letting you con me into the data heist of a lifetime. Set a nice file into the High Hegemon's chair, didn't it? Then I decrypt the previous archive of the guy whose job she stole, and not asking what I thought about the contents, which I read, mostly. Can you believe it? Typical. She thinks she knows everything. Just wait. Silence. Gargoyle's hand starts snapping on a straight data pad. I value your expertise. Gargoyle sits up. Thank you, Captain. Project Ziggurat, now that's a story. The logs were scrubbed pretty hard even before even Calicor got them. I mean, there are the logs between the Tritac contacts and Calicor, and there's a whole other set of internal Tritac comms. Must have had some good connections, probably a mole or 3. Those execs would throw each other out the airlock in a second if they thought it'd boost their own career. And it might. Anyway, Gargoyle leans in, speaking with quiet drama. Project Ziggurat scared them. If you read between the lines, the hacker makes a self-satisfied expression.
The initial phase of the project utilized a handful of AI cores of various grades. Guess what? Self-deleted. Or Tritakian thinks they're not supposed to be able to do that, but negotiable. Amazing what a seemingly innocuous hardware can be made to do when you think outside the box. But what makes an AI delete itself? Gargoyle leans in closer. Whatever Project Ziggurat is, that's what. Spooky, right? You've given me a lot to think about. You're welcome, Captain. Gargoyle leans back, grinning again, and flips through floating holo displays.
All right, let's get out of here. We can just go ahead and head to Colon. Also, we should see if our Tritac contact will have the, like... forge offers that we got when we still worked for Tritakion. Is this so? Then we can start making the stuff to arm up that executor. I mean, we have all the blueprints for the weapons I want to put on it. First, let's talk to our contact. Can you work for me? Nah. Okay, so he doesn't. Take a shuttle down to visit a dockside bar. You take a shuttle down to the main concourse and quickly find a likely-looking establishment. The lounge is adorned on all surfaces in richly lit geometrics. Black marble columns and are lit by cool light tubes seem to hang effortlessly in the air. Corporate climbers, either slick Tritakian careerists or wannabes in crisp suits, negotiate deals while buying one another increasingly unlikely cocktails. A few spacers engage in subdued drinking in low seats, glancing uneasily at what is either abstract art or some kind of hollow projection rig looming from the ceiling. As your gaze begins to skim around the crowd for potential jobs, a man in spotless Tritakian executive attire insinuates himself in front of you. Captain Vivi Leandra, we are so pleased that you've chosen to visit this franchise. The Tritakian Corporation values your contribution to the local economy. He smiles perfectly as you realize that your hand is being shaken. If we may sit over here, I would like to discuss a special matter. Company business. I'll follow him. You idly tap a pricey drink from the menu and it appears before you within seconds. Noticing your surprise, the agent explains. Each customer builds a tri-taste profile as they enjoy our products. Correlating purchase history with time of day and certain other physiological signifiers allows. He raises his hands apologetically. I get carried away sometimes. It's my passion for customer satisfaction. You understand what is being said. We're watching you. But we're here to talk about... They know my favorite drink! God damn it. We're here to talk about your business. The agent's hand gently points at you without otherwise moving. Not mine. What business might that be? There was an incident recently. The Aztlan relay was compromised. Very embarrassing for Hedgecom, but with a history of such incidents. With designed to milk customers dry, yeah. With embarrassment comes a propensity for a reaction of conclusion leapt at base based on long-held biases against the Tritakian Corporation. Now we consider the unpleasantness of the AI wars water under the bridge. After all, there's business to be done. The agent's smile disappears and his tone goes cold. Our shareholders have much to lose. We cannot allow tensions to be inflamed by adventurism. Nor do I expect the current provost of Galatia to last long in her post. Give some thought to who you choose to do business with. Are you making me an offer? For a few long seconds, no response, then the agent's smile appears again. I am pleased to hear that you are receptive to the suggestion. He says then stands. The company will be in contact, I'm sure. Thank you for your time, Vivi Leandra. I'm certain you will continue to respect the business-friendly environment we cultivate in Tritakian space and beyond. The Tritakian agent disappears into some shadow. You look back at your untouched drink.
A bubble breaks onto the surface. Go back to the bar. You stand from the table, drink untouched. You must feel like there's a tingle on the back of your neck as you leave, but Tritachian agent is nowhere to be seen. Talk to the woman who ordered the cadet to apprehend you. The woman sits in the dark. She is dressed as a common tech, but speaks as though she holds or has held high command. Captain Vivi Leandra, my superiors recognize that your unique talents could serve our faction. We need an agent extracted from a Gemini colony at Ragnar Complex. A flag task force cannot do this due to political considerations. Our offer is 76,000 credits. The Oppo may be expecting you. We have intel on their defenses. I'll decline. Talk the colonel at a private tradable. Surplus Eos class carrier. That is cheap as hell for an Eos. Sure. Ask around about Colisa Estrella. You buy drinks freely, targeting those patrons wearing the expensive professional clothing that serves as an unofficial uniform for junior Tritachian executives. Most attempt to network with you, pitching unlikely business schemes as you nod and try to steer the conversation back towards a certain ordnance engineer. Eventually you get a hit of sorts. You're trying to poach talent, aren't you? A smile and a wink from the smarmy suit. You're with one of the big Kazaron Gens? Don't have to tell me. Anyway, it's easy. You just need credits. Talk to the administrator at Kulon Starforge. Show them you're serious. Everyone has an angle. Now, like I was saying, my product will completely redefine the paradigm. Max size and next generation innovation. You pretend to receive an urgent notice on your datapad, finish your drink, and escape. Oh God, having to schmooze with venture capitalists. Imagine. Oh. Approve the suggestion. Let's go ahead and save the game. Paris Polana. The Tritachian comms logo resolves rapidly to the smiling administrator of Kulon Starforge. Greetings, Captain Vivi Leandra. He glances at a secondary display. Your net worth is admirable. On behalf of the Tritachian Corporation, I would like to welcome you to Kulon Starforge. I love that fucking greeting. Your net worth is admirable. What is this, like, Silicon Valley hellhole? That is Tritachian space. His perfect smile all grows slightly larger. We supply a variety of alloys to both private firms and major polities. Or perhaps you're a supplier in the ore trade. Net worth, this is Tritachian, yeah? Ask about Colisa Estrella. You inquire about Colisa Estrella. The administrator's smile grows slightly less wide, and a touch of confusion grows on his face. Hi, Cave? A former employee, you say? Well, the Tritachian Corporation has top-line privacy guidelines when it comes to discussion of human assets. However, the privacy guidelines seems flexible. He's waiting for you to make an officer. Perhaps a generous finder's fee would smooth things along? 29,000 credits. Upfront to my account via this UID. The administrator says as your datapad pings softly to alert you to the receipt of payment information. Paris Polana smiles brightly again and awaits your response. You have 1 million, yeah? Or pay the bribe. Wonderful, says the administrator. I need the snooze ad. This is the administrator as you see his eyes read the transfer confirmation. Let me just pull up the file on Colisa Estrella. Ah, here it is, he says with suspiciously little delay. A personnel file overlays your comms link, displaying the details of life and employment of Khaleesi Estrella. Not an ideal employee. Insubordination, sloppy infosec, failure to consistently engage with company morale programs. He glances back at you, gauging your incest. But that's not what you're looking for, is it, Captain? You want to find her. Am I correct? Yes, I am correct, yes. The file scrolls by quickly, manipulated by a combination of the administrator's hands flying over a virtual interface and subtle use of cyber-augs. Judging by the credits transfers from unknown source, I would suppose that employee 379490509 was contracting on the side for a black project from elsewhere in the company. Not one of mine. If I had to guess, that's why she resigned so suddenly and, oh, look at this. A noisy hollow from a navigation sap pops up showing a weathered venture class hull. It's called the Hamatsu, surveys scavenging other jobs. Estrella booked the entire ship and requested some kind of modification installed. The administrator is frowning now, an unusual expression for him. No details. I'll have to have a word with the portmaster for allowing this to proceed without filing a copy with the company. Hi, Jason. Cave, you might want to know this guy greeted me by saying my net worth was admirable. The Hamatsu finished modifications, then made to leave the Hybrazeal system, but turned his transponder off before jumping out. He considers this for a moment, then pages the file ahead. Ah, owned by Callisto Ibrahim. He looks up at you. Heard of her? No. Bit of a reputation. A few junior partners in the company hired her for a job a while back. She falsified credentials, but delivered admirably in the end. She's now operating a few small fleets out of Agrius in the Arcadia system. You think he brags about his IQ? Arcadius, thank you for the follow. I'm surprised that was the first abnormal thing he noticed about you. The administrator looks at you now and smiling. If I were you and I wanted to find Khaleesi Estrella, I would talk to Ibrahim. She'll do business. Like we are. And now you have your lead, so I believe I've earned my fee. I thank you for bringing this little loose end to my attention. Now I have some calls to make. He smiles again at you entirely falsely. You never know who you can trust. Pleasure doing business, Captain. Profitable ventures to you. And with that, he closes the comms. Let's see. Mods for sale, mods for sale, mods for sale. Let's get going. Right, Arcadia. Where's Arcadia? Fuck. I totally forget where Arcadia is. Let's just use this map. Man, Tritachyon sure is a corporate nightmare. Yeah, they are. There it is. Okay. Oh, it's under. It's directly in our way. I'm not going to recover this. You ready to fight something that could attack you without you attacking back? Luddic Church Fleet, huh? Holy shit, what? Accept the comms request. The comms flicker and stabilize. The serious face of a Luddic knight appears before you, dotted by hollow snow. You are here just as Brother Cotton foretold. I meet you, Vivi Leandra. Oh, crap. Gonna snooze ads again. And in my right hand I hold the hammer of Lud, and in my left hand I wield the sword. Will you repent and turn from the path of evil to follow the blessed path of Lud? There seems to be some barely restrained expectation behind his words. A slow anger distilled over years into a force more pure by far. Do I know you? Your worship of the twin evils, Moloch and Mammon, is not unseen by the path of Vivi Leandra. A wheeled eye spins, and it is fiery, and it is filled with judgment. Know that servants of Moloch can be bought. You consort with betrayers. Those with no faith in their heart will sell their erstwhile comrades. Do you think Tritakion only provides information to your ilk? They know no loyalty but that of a blooded silver. I wish to repent and follow the path of Lud. The knight's face is stony. Prove your devotion now and burden your soul of Mammon's shackles. Transfer 110,000 credits in tithe to the path of Lud immediately. Remember that it is a sin to swear false oaths, Vivi Leandra. The knight brow furrows just a little, like he knows your answer already, savoring that he has caught you in a lie. 110,000 credits is not that much. For me, at least. Transfer the tithe. A console chimes and the rogue knight looks almost surprised and definitely a little disappointed. You have chosen, but I'm still not sure if the path in your heart truly leads toward the path, or if this is the deceit of a coward who will give anything to save their own miserable life from judgment. The knight looks stoic once more. It is not for me to decide now if your soul can be redeemed. It is not for any of us. But the worldly concerns of your path, that is a burden chosen by Brother Cotton. Find him. If the light of Lud truly illuminates the path before you, you will know how. Then you can be his problem. With that, the rogue knight snaps the comms line dark. His face hangs in the air for just a moment as the bluish afterimage before fading to nothing. Yeah, I could not have fought that. Jesus Christ. Alright, this isn't the system. Well, we might as well survey. Ren World, Azure World, Barren World, Gas Giant, Rocky Unstable. Oh yeah, scan the magnetic field. I was going for the comms relay because I saw the purple and it's like the Syndrome Diktat, like a reddish purple, whatever color it is, looks like the same purple that is the jump point. So I mistook that fucking comms relay controlled by the Syndrome Diktat. Burgundy? It's not quite burgundy. Burgundy is darker. Carmine? It might be carmine. It might be carmine. Callisto Ibrahim. Hello, this is Callisto Ibrahim of Ibrahim Interstellar Transport and Salvage. She frowns and looks you over, assessing. If you're looking for work, I've got all the pilots I need right now, but I can take your comms ID in case something comes up. Ask about the Hamatsu. She narrows her eyes. Is this about Khaleesi Estrella? It is, isn't it? It is. Don't even get me started. She chartered my ship for some hush-hush salvage operation, supposedly. She stretches that word with disbelief, and she comes in demanding highly unusual modifications with potentially dangerous hyperdrive field interactions. Well, I got her to throw in a fair chunk of hazard pay, a rush fee, and a bit more to keep quiet about it like she wanted. You don't sound very quiet. Yeah, because disappearing with my favorite starship is a pretty big breach of contract. I'll tell whoever I damn well please. For all I know, she ran my Hamatsu into a black hole in some Tritakian boondoggle search for a more efficient drive field to license back to us poor spacers just trying to get by. Ibrahim takes a couple deep breaths, then turns to you a little calmer. What's your interest in all this? I need to find out where Khaleesi Estrella went. I'll tell you what, I want to find her too. There'll be something in it for you if you can get me anything to go on. I'd go looking myself, but... Ibrahim waves a hand through the air. Business, bureaucracy, other commitments. Better yet, find the Hamatsu and bring it back to me. She closes her eyes, looking pained. In one piece, I hope. I've got a lot of memories in that old piece of space junk. Let me get you started. My captain on the Hamatsu sent an encrypted flight plan before they left space dock after finishing the modifications. Hyperspace nav overlay appears. Hyperseal is here. The Hamatsu fueled up and planned to travel to Moloch. Whether they made it, I don't know. Outer systems, no hypercom coverage. They could have changed course. That rat-addled Tritac engineer was tight-lipped about her intentions and ensured that the contract had my captain bound to follow changes in flight plan by her order. Mr. Moon, thank you for the follow. Ibrahim swipes away the display away and is replaced by a schematic of the Hamatsu with certain additions to the drive field inductors highlighted. These are the modifications she had done. If her agreed that you'll find the Hamatsu for me, Captain, I'll find it. Ibrahim nods, frowning. It would mean a lot. She returns her focus to the schematic zoom again. I've had my techs take a look. Have a look. It seems to be an addition, an enhancement to the drive field. Press a button and it pumps in a lot of energy all at once, pushes the envelope into a strange harmonic. Theoretically, it won't do anything hazardous to the ship, but messing with the default settings of the hyperdrive is never a good way to stay in this business. Or alive. Ibrahim shakes her head. I figured Tritakian engineer, maybe she knows what she's doing and I could get a cut in on it. What a fool I was. Anyway, I've sent you the schematics in case it helps with the search. That's all I have, Captain. All I can say is burn hard, burn bright. Yeah, turn the transponder on and comply. I don't know why I turned it off. I just did it on impulse. So where is Moloch? It's at Outerworld, so... Ah, there. Too many missions? Let's go there directly. Actually, let's take a break from pushing the Glacier Academy questline and go colonize Hullmod finally. Whoa. First, we're gonna need to hire some people. If crew hires are expensive here. They buy... What mods am I running? A bunch. I keep meaning to do like a command that will show you show y'all a list. But I keep not doing it because I keep forgetting. I didn't even realize my transponder was off. Oops.
But Nexerelin, Secrets of the Frontier, and Industrial Expansion. Aurora Federation, Everybody Loves the Co-Combine, HMI. Those are the big ones that I can think of off the top of my head. We need to hire a bunch of crew if we want to, go colonize Hollow Hall. More exploration? Well, no, we're just gonna go colonize Hollow Hall real quick. And then we can explore some stuff nearby, I guess, while waiting for stuff to happen. The Dustkeepers themselves actually sell supplies for quite a decent price. The same for fuel, so we're just gonna go directly there. Part of the reason I do this is because, like, having run into that one Luddic fleet from this quest line, I'm like, oh, I might not be strong enough to complete this quest line with my current fleet. I should use the tech locator. In a hyperspace, huh? Okay. I'll try that. Jump in, go to the holdout forward ship. Pair ships at the dockyard. Yeah, they have a bunch of supplies to sell, especially because I gave them that corrupted nanoforge, actually. After I explore cluster of systems, okay. Yeah, let's get a bit more than that. Let's go to Hollow Hall. Answer the hail? No. Food, no. Establish a colony. Establish colony. We'll keep the name Hollow Hall. What should we call it? Let's just do the standard fucking name. Let's just do. Imagine if the Dustkeepers have an AI course for hire. They do. Like, I've seen them before. Only for captaining ships, though, not for like colony stuff. What do we grab? And what do we use for a symbol? Let's use... I don't know, I like this one. We will, of course, build farming industry. Couple you can find by exploring too. Yeah. Like as we got Sierra. Put an AI core there. We'll start hazard pay immediately. Hi, Direct Current. Yes, I'm doing pretty well. We'll start hazard pay immediately to pump the growth here. This will have given us a bunch of progress for hope for Hallow Hall. Oh, hey! Neat. How many AIs you got in your fleet? Only 3 right now. Get content protection? I could. I could, like, give her the lamp if I wanted. I'm gonna drop off all these guns and stuff in here. Oh, I have Sierra in my fleet. Woo, we don't need to carry these around anymore. That's interesting that it just straight up reduces your colony crisis progress. Oh, I was gonna buy fuel from them too. Fuck. Forgot. They don't actually have that much fuel to sell me. There's like a couple of systems we didn't explore around here that I can go explore while waiting for Hollow to make some progress. I need to figure out how to mod the game to increase the level cap. I'm pretty sure there is a... I would recommend actually just downloading the Quality Captains mod, which is like an alternate skill tree mod that's really quite good. For context, Mr. Moon, Cave like bought the game like a couple weeks ago. Watchtower, huh? Yep, there's a mortar station. Let's see if we can do it with this. We saved. No, that's like actually a lot more drones than there usually are. Artillery stations. Let's just go survey the other planets in the system. Rich ore deposits, huh? Okay, spaceport at Hollow Hall is done. I'm surprised this isn't on Steam. They say, the creator says he doesn't think it's ready for Steam yet, which is whack to me. Alright, let's build an orbital station. Autonomous AI battle station. Interesting. Guess I'll go ahead. Especially looking at that goddamn stability bonus. Holy shit. Another trait suggestion. That's much better. Recall is useless on that ship. Something over there? Is it just a watchtower? This is a watchtower. Barren world, we'll survey it. Industrial ruins, scattered ruins. Explore the ruins, begin salvage operations. Nothing especially interesting in the system as far as I can tell. Yeah, we'd probably get a bunch more eyes on it if it was on Steam. I can also go check out these planets, including the one the Persean League apparently colonized. Annoyingly. Because I would have liked to have had that, because it's pretty close and it's a Terran world. Oh yeah, I should use the tech locator around there. Mecha Breaks Open Beta. I haven't heard of that, actually. What is that in close orbit of the star? A supply cache. It's only a minor cache. I'm not going to go for that. PvP mecha game coming out. You'll have to link it to me. Link it to me so I don't forget. Orbital habitat and mining station. Nice. That gamma core was the best thing we found there. High-tech blueprint package, we can trade that in. Ancient industries, sparse, rare, or rich, or no atmosphere, low gravity. That's actually a nice planet. On Discord series. It's an incredibly meh planet that time. There's something in where it's like there-ish. Without the forge. River protocol. Woo! What are you over there? A debris field. Ew, no. I'm not gonna recover Shepherd. I'm probably gonna want to take the system from the Percy League at some point. Nya. Lots of debris there. Buy governorship? I could. Huh. Ooh, deposit. Lots of ships we could salvage, but I don't think I'm gonna bother. Most of them. Ah, ruins. From the intel to buy a goal. Begin salvage operations. Meh. Let's do that. Oh, they're fighting? Percy League fast picket with scavengers. Interesting. I could check out that black hole system. It seems to have like an abnormal number of planets for black hole systems, and black hole systems typically have good loot. Because there's lots of like research stations and stuff which are really important. Arsenal Station. Tech locator, attempt to download. Ooh. Oh, it's only Prider befriends. Get the Eagle P. What is that? Schnurkwing? Trebuchet? Death Gaze Assault Laser. Peppa Cannon. Ice Giant, Barren World, Ice Giant, Barren World. Interesting. Gravitational dynamo? Interesting. Yeah, mega defenses. Yeah, I will use the tech locator in hyperspace once we leave. You need an emergency burn away from that black hole. We got too close. Oh, there's something in orbit here. Exoship remains. Interesting. Automated defenses. Huh. These aren't that scary. Let's do it. Oh, wait. Why is our readiness so bad? Wait, why did I continue? Why did I continue when our readiness is so bad? Hold on, hold on, hold on. I need to reload. I need to reload. I did not mean to hit continue there. I needed to wait. Yeah, local gravitational dynamo. Oh, I thought the game crashed for a second. It just froze. That is a lot of modifiers. 325% hazard. The super redacted is a pain in the ass to fight. Yeah. Okay, now let's do it. Engage the defenses. Continue. I forgot to change my flagship again. Oh, I never armed up that EOS. Oops. Other ships are whack. God damn it. Why are my shields down? Did I accidentally turn them down? Oh my god, they're all phase ships. This is so annoying. Oh my god, I'm caught in the beams. Okay, I wasn't prepared for how annoying this fight was going to be. I think we can still win it. I think we can still win it if we, like, do it competently. Alright, let's actually, like, properly assign. And while this EOS doesn't have anything, we should just mothball it. Let's try that again. Save again. bring all our combat ships. We are going to set up an actual defensive line so our ships don't get dragged away by all the phase ships. Oh my god. It is staying in phase for a long time. What the fuck? There are like ghosts of it that are firing. Wait a minute. Torrance, hi, thank you! Yeah, I'm super proud of it. Yeah, we're doing much better here. Oof. These are infuriating to fight. They don't even do that much damage, they just don't fucking die. Crap, I need a vent. I'm gonna like not survive if I don't. Here we go. Okay, this is impossible. Jesus Christ, what the hell is this? What the hell is that fight? Those ships are so OP. Like, even ships that are supposed to be OP are not normally that OP. Ah! We could progress the quest, but I wanted to get Hollow a bit up real quick. So we're doing some exploring in the meantime. Yeah, I'll use the tech locator in hyperspace. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, yeah, I was getting that feeling that it was one of those memory leaks because it kept freezing up. Let's go ahead and actually, it is like 9 o'clock. Let's go ahead and continue this tomorrow. Yeah, let's go ahead and find someone to raid to end the night. I'll be back here tomorrow at the same time. Let's see, who do we raid? It's been a while since we raided Archivist. Let's go ahead and raid him. All right, good night, everybody. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow with more Starsector. I also have a Discord I would like to plug. It is fairly active. I would like if you would join. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.